Good morning, Ambazonia. Today, na Tuesday, number 26 day for the month of October 2021. My name na Capo Daniel. Sense Past King, the Ambazonian Governing Council, Deputy Defense Chief of the ADF. Welcome to my daily podcast. Not all that glitters is gold. Fellow good people of Ambazonia, one of the most dangerous things is to give a deadly weapons in the hands of a baby. Like I said, the title of this episode is All That Glitter Is Not Gold. Intelligence in the hands of a wicked man, a greedy man, is very dangerous for the society. I will bring you that in a while. But first, Ambazonians have suffered great loss this week as Cameroon military have taken out the highest number of Ambazonian forces in a single week for the past 1 year. This as over 15 soldiers that surrounded No Pity was killed by the terrorist La République du Cameroun occupation forces with a follow-up operation in the great state of Boyo in Ake village, as well as the killing of 4 unknown fighters that are believed to be linked with No Pity. What went wrong? How could La République pull this off? I will come back to that later. But first, ladies and gentlemen, good people of Ambazonia, would I hear Boh Herbert out of a sudden he come out with a very powerful sabotage, an insult to the dignity of the men and women that have risen up in Ground Zero to pick up arms to defend Ambazonia. In the latest write-up, Boh Herbert questioned if it is indeed true that 23 Ambazonian defense forces were killed, some of them buried alive in Beau. Like I said, all that glitter is not gold. A deadly weapon in the hands of a baby can put everybody's lives at risk. Greed, selfishness, wickedness in the hands of a smart person is the most dangerous thing that can happen in a family. Boh Herbert, where he done just come out, not up to a month ago, with a powerful interview, articulating perfectly the case for Ambazonia, defending the integrity of our people's aspiration. We all came out as one man to congratulate Boh Herbert, irrespective of our differences and our stance in vis-a-vis the Swiss negotiation via the HD. In supporting, congratulating, and encouraging Boh Herbert, despite these reasons, these differences, the Ambazonia Governing Council and her allies have shown the Ambazonian people what it means to put Ambazonia first, to put our flag first, ahead of any organization or any group. It comes as a surprise to many of us that Boh Herbert first reaction to the Ambazonian Governing Council's president, Dr. Cho Ayaba, leader of our War of Liberation meeting with the international partners, together with the representative of the Swiss government and the HD in Hamburg, Germany, have been that of bitterness, hatred, and blackmail. The initial reaction of Boh Herbert was to say in a Twitter that Dr. Cho Ayaba, leader of our War of Liberation, diplomatic visit to Hamburg, Germany, accompanied by the Ambazonian Governing Council's Vice President, Dr. Julius Nye, was baboon walk, monkey chop. It makes us to wonder, what perception does Boh Herbert have in this struggle? If for Boh Herbert, the matter of negotiation na a matter of baboon and monkey, it means say in his own mind, na interest for the chop na be ahead, na be the main purpose wey dey motivate. For the Governing Council, we need to play politics with the negotiation, because that they deal with the life of Ambazonian 8 million people and many more unborn Ambazonians. Our sole motivation is to make sure we do not get into any negotiation or seal our fate or the fate of our revolution in any negotiation that cannot or will not guarantee a possible outcome of an independent Southern Cameroon. That is the only thing that we believe will meet the aspiration of our people. And that is what drives our posture with the negotiation process or initiative by the Swiss HD. Nevertheless, it be important make we understand the same Boh Herbert, where during the time where they be killed the Ambazonian Defense Forces, 23 of them, plus 7 of our Boy warriors, the way they be accompany them. At that moment, Boh Herbert, where he be do a so-called program they call Ambazonia Calling, he be come out for talk say the ADF soldiers them, where they be catch them for Boy, now be them. In a program where it be read by Chia Innocent, Boh Herbert they be claim say the ADF fighter them, they be na indeed bees. What a lie. Today, the same Boh Herbert, he talk say, he no be sure, say the Boy warrior them be kill the 23 ADF soldiers. They call them now ADF soldiers. Why all the contradiction? Those are signs that he has no credibility. He is motivated by hate, greed, jealousy, despite the high stake that are before us in a genocidal war against a brutal enemy. We have all seen the pictures and video images of the arrest of these 23 brave heroes plus 7 in the hands and custody of the Boy warrior. How they mock at them, how they remove shoes from their feet and say that they are going to die. We have all watched testimony of Samuel Ikome Sako, who came out to tell the Ambazonia people that only La Republique can account for the remaining half of those people that were arrested, because it is La Republique who have them in their custody. How will they, from what we know, they divided the group into 2. How will they end up in the hands of La Republique? Who made that arrangement? We know that Chacha, the wife of Chacha, was arrested in Bafoussam with huge sum of money. She has bought a camion that worked for him, money that only could be justified by selling of ADF soldiers that were arrested, that probably led to his death. This is a bitter wound that Boh Herbert have pierced. Boh Herbert should know that the 23 sons and daughters of Ambazonians that were killed in Boy have wives. Some of them left their wife in Bamenda, some of them in Bafut, some of them in different areas across the 13th state of Ambazonia with their wife pregnant. Till today, the family are still mourning. Their comrades are unconsolable. Oh, General Agaba, General Trouble, Gunter, the list of their name go on and on and on. Boh Herbert talk say, we didn't bring any proof, picture proof or video proof. Everybody where you don't go for school, he knows it, even picture enough is not evidence enough. Nginiam, one of our best sniper, that was somebody, if we could inject him to carry out the operation against Dangote, when he tried to visit Bamenda in his propaganda visit, Dangote would be a dead man today. Our best sniper in Ambazonia, the most experienced sniper we have, our special arsenal, who was wanted with a sum or a bounty of 5 million promised by La Republique soldiers on the ground for any soldier who will be taken out, was brutally killed by the Boy warriors in the order of Chris Anu and Sako. As a matter of fact, they said they should kill them. The Sako and Chris Anu did not mix their word when they asked for the soldiers to be killed, including Elvis Chenzeka, the murderer, Ambazonian killer who resides in Germany. These people ordered for the killing of our soldiers. Boh Herbert did not go and ask them, where did they kill them? Why did they order for their killing of poor boys who simply wanted to fight for freedom for their home country?
Will be crushed. This what happened in Boy should send a will be crushed. This what happened in Boy should send a message to the ADF and the AGOVC. They will be crushed. This what happened in Boy should send a message to sit down to negotiate with you out there.
So it was impossible for them to negotiate with Mr. Pobia when the ADF is out there fighting. That is why they had to go out and kill all ADF soldiers, paid people to say that they are not ADF, and make ADF disappear. Mission impossible. We know Pobia have announced on national TV that he would negotiate with Sako. He didn't call Sako, obviously. He said with the Ambazonian people that are willing and that have had an understanding with him. We know Sako have an understanding with Mr. Pobia, not for Ambazonian interests, but for his own self-interest. And that have been reflected in all his actions. Judge him by his actions. Even the HD itself is a testimony that the scope and how they consider the Ambazonian is very clear, it's obvious.
Confronted the gang of murderers. It turns out to be about 39 ADF fighters. A battle quickly ensued, and even when the mission commander noticed that they were ADF fighters, called for restraint, called for them to put down their arms, they did not put their arms down. Unfortunately, I say, this was led by their own brother, whom I now understand is resting in peace. We understand that when the mission commander called for arms to be laid down, a few of the ADF members laid down their arms, but their own brother ordered for fire to be opened by the ADF forces onto his own brothers, members of the Boy warriors. So battle ensued. We understand there have been some casualties, and may their souls rest in peace.
So that was Luista, a nurse who have since come out to apologize that he was lied to by Elvis Kezeka, who killed who gave the orders for those boys to be killed, who is the chief of staff of Sako. And the truth is that we have seen the video where Guineam was arrested alive, dragged, blindfolded, and executed with a bullet shot at the head. We also saw videos of the ADF, 23 of them plus 7 Boy warriors that they were paraded, which shows that they were all captured, they were all kept alive, and according to the information we had, they were divided into 2 groups. One group that included our general in the Bamenda Brigade, General Agaba, was killed. Some of them were killed. So some of them did not die when they were buried. They were made to dig their own grave. We have very good evidence, recordings of confession, and the exact people who carried out the execution. They were all killed in cold blood. Big Number, on the other hand, who is the only survivor, was taken and shot close to a gendarmerie post with the hope that the gendarmes will come and pick him up. Fortunately for General Big Number, he survived the bullet wound and was rescued by the ADF in Bui. He lived to testify what happened on that sad day in our history. As for the remaining group, that were about 14 of them, we don't know exactly, but the indication we had was that Sako said that we had information that they were sold to La Republique. And that is how, in the exchange of money and things like that, or collection of their weapon, Chacha was killed. But we know when Sako was confronted, he said that we should ask La Republique, because only La Republique could account for them, which means that it was indeed true that those boys were sold over to La Republique together with their weapons. Hear from Sako's own mouth when he was questioned in a public Zoom meeting in the washing of the entire nation of Ambazonia.
Fighters that were arrested, are they alive or dead? The truth is that a report was issued by the county. A report was issued, and it is out there, and after looking into the whole issue, the government spokesperson, Secretary Chris Anno, also went out and narrated gave the report to the people as it was. That was it was public knowledge, and so I don't even want to go there. Secretary Chris is here; he can just tell you again what is said. Maybe with this number of people here present, you might remember exactly that he said so, and that is exactly what it is. It has not changed. If they are alive, maybe the Republic knows whether they are alive or they are dead.
So,
based on the information, the findings that we did, and what happened immediately after the aftermath of their arrest. So if they are alive or they are dead, the Republic has a better answer to give to that question.
that is Sako clearly saying that La Republique have the final say to say if they are alive or they are dead. According to the information, I think una dan here for una own mob. Na Sako the talk, no be some man the talk. Na for live video stream, no be something where they na leak audio. Na Sako the talks in a La Republique the fee account. Na Sako talks they be arrest the boy them. So those are evidence enough for anybody who is reasonable to know that it is not a hoax, it is not a myth, as Boh Herbert is trying to put. Maybe he's trying to just provoke us to divert our attention and distract our people from focusing as we are trying to focus to fight the common enemy, La Republique. We know for sure that Sako have confessed that only La Republique can tell whether they are alive or dead, which means that they handed those boys, half of those boys, to La Republique, and La Republique can account like what would La Republique do with them. So we know that the half that were buried alive, it was done in Boy. We know the location. We are not able to dig out the location right now. We know one of the person who was in charge in pulling the trigger. He's now learning a garage work in Yaoundé. We have the names. We have confession. Every evidence is there. And I am informing the Ambazonian public that due to the insult to the family members who are still mourning today their sons and daughters that were killed and buried in Boy, I am issuing an arrest warrant against Boh Herbert. Anywhere that Boh Herbert will be found by an Ambazonian Defense Forces, he should be arrested immediately. As we have made it very clear, nobody will be tolerated that would dishonor the sacrifices of our men and women that have taken oath in the ADF to fight against La Republique for Ambazonian independence. That is our objective and goal. We will not tolerate this. Boh Herbert will definitely eventually pay for this. So Chris Anno was given a chance to make clear the matter on that Zoom, and this is what happened.
Yes, sir. We would like to hear from Secretary Chris and Secretary Dr. Tita, please.
Silence. That was their response. Tita, who is also in the Boy Warriors in America, Chris Anno, silence. Just like that. 29 Ambazonian brave warriors were all slaughtered, killed in cold blood. Some of them made to dig their own grave. This is unforgivable. This is painful. Every single time we try to call some of the family, reach out to the family members, the wives and their children, to help them. It just bleeds my heart that somebody will be this cool to open this wound again. Boh Herbert, you have your day. But for the sake of public accountability, we cannot remain silent without at least responding or setting the record straight. I'm going to go back into our archives and play some of the confession. After the killing and murder, cold-blood murder of these young men, many people came out of that Boy warrior group and the Boy worldwide confessing how Elvis, who was the agent that was meant to carry out this execution and work out the killing of the ADF, was deceived many of them, and how things unfold. I'll play some of the recordings for your own memory. As we began explain them, The Cameroon government, if they don't put specific people, they made them work with the SACO, as they don't get their understanding. Most of those people then they carry out these killings of ADF and other fighters. Sometimes SACO they just facilitate them, they give the order to for support them, but these are the people who actually controls what SACO do against the struggle. And many of the people that have come under this structure innocently thinking that it is a government or they are representing their villages, they have all been shocked that no matter what they do, these individuals, there are many of them, there is nothing they can do to change what they are doing within the system. Listen to the records of the aftermath after the killing of our people, confession from some of their members.
He talks any commanders will be apart from Elvis. But he will give the impression that different people are talking and doing this and doing that and doing this and doing that. When he's trying to talk about he bought nothing not for him out. When they want to have everybody they talk for commander, the main talk for commander, then this and that. Nobody talks any commanders will be apart from Elvis. But he will give the impression that different people are talking and doing this and doing that and doing this and doing that. When he's trying to talk about he bought nothing not for him out. Nobody talks any commanders will be apart from Elvis.
So this woman, Brenda Lynn, it be like the social welfare for the community where they don't call themselves a Boy Council or a Boy local government, whatever name they don't choose them. It for all their chat group. So he know exactly which way it happen for them. Now they give the report. Make we continue. So before number 1 year, then come out can begin the talk for all their alphabet channel, for all their outlet them say, Efang become for boy for can keep people them before they be make all this story them. They be gonna for they begin meeting where the Elvis cook up this story can tell them. When I hear.
And any line for carries then say, even no self-service go for ABC. Come on now, guys. We sat in a meeting and it was agreed and even told him to go. And since that scandal, I need to go me, I need to even attend their meeting. I told them that unless you guys let me know exactly what happened, I don't know why the every woman is on charm for the people that skin. I don't talk for the people that they don't hate me, I hate them. And say, would you need to ask simple questions?
Yeah.
If Elvis has lost control of these boys, because every time
Elvis have not lost control.
Ask he will talk say, be no. Every time I come for us, say, well, they so maybe any man they talk for them. Now so something happen before the one no say it don't happen. I say, seriously, guys? And so what are you guys putting him there to do if he doesn't have any control of anything that is happening?
Brenda Lynn go far for explain them how they be use the Luista when I be chairman for that Boy Council. Me go talk those lies and for SCBC say ADF become the for can keep people. He say the ADF be open fire, they be kill this one because of this one. Make una hear.
Politics. So he himself did not even know the implications of him going to that ABC. So no one even know what is happening here, Capo. That's the thing. That what is happening is that they show every Friday, right? They put money together, gear, send them, right? Then every Saturday, every scam, give feedback for inside meeting on this and that. Nobody asks questions. But when you dare ask questions, every go then who gonna start flaring for meeting. You understand? So the people who even contribute, like when they talk, say, get this one. So what does this guy do? Now the way to have realized and say, say in Nova State where I realize say Elvis na joint chief of staff.
You know, not be know.
No, I not be know. Now that one I bring her now for inside some put the year and new for me. And now for the way Elvis one finish me. I say, but you guys are sitting here wondering why the children are fighting ADF IG. Let me tell you that this guy sitting here is Sako's joint chief of staff. And so there is that conflict of interest, which means we have been sitting here refusing that we are not IG, when technically we are.
You are. Once you carry that name council, local government. Yeah.
Because he's sitting there selling the idea to the guys, and those of us sitting here don't even know that. Will not be know. Now me, I even talk about inside meeting house on day before they 1 year from me. Some people were like, huh? Are you serious? I said, yes, he is sitting right here. I'm not talking for back. I said, there he is. And so that is why there's this conflict of interest, because I'm sure he sent the Sako agenda to the kids, and then the kids are telling them so that they are of the IG. When we are sitting here saying that we are apolitical.
So now here, they should don't for their country group, the guy that say na country group. They no say this they said na the Sako agenda for kill their own picking them for inside Bui Day for Banso. and they carry also their money for carry on that action and they. Maybe we'll continue the story.
Oh, there no be no. No man no be no. Let me tell you, the day I said in the house, they opened their mouth like, huh? I say yes. I say so either when I replace me, either they replace it or when I accept them, because when they talk say na Sako.
Sorry for the interruption. Just to explain, this is the old podcast that I released during that period. In this conversation I'm having with one of their member, they said that when they created the group, the Boy Worldwide, what they call the LGA, they were saying it is apolitical, not just thing for country people, then for gather together, help the boys where they fight for defend their family, their village, and stuff like that. They did not know that Sako had arranged everything. It was an IG thing. They didn't even know it was belonging to one group or another. They were saying, no, they don't like group things. They don't like Sako. But there was an agent that was assigned there. This, I think the story in the old story, Unara already know the modus operandi, how these people then create and steal this semblance of legitimacy. Make a continue with that particular podcast. We carry out those, we get all those confessions every day. Make una hear.
No jacking boy. Every month now we move money. Now we be move money. I don't put my dime anymore anywhere. When I get my money now, I send out for those I think I can help. Now people now will get list. And then I ask them one thing. When I send money or somebody every day, it never ever give a report on which my dear some money. They don't curse me. Okay, Captain, don't talk. Okay, Captain, don't. Hey, form of obey. Wait. Now me decided die different my die. I don't even know now what did happen. They won't agree. They won't even tell an ask question where I know say it's in a lie. I say okay, make you an inventory of things when I don't buy. They tell say Sako. How much has Sako spent in Boy? That's why you know say they already give to an upper no. Oh, he to don't work on it is one show now. Listen, I really get there for Boy, but he is not the one doing anything there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, we'll go talk for Mr. Luista, the chairman for the self-proclaimed Boy Council, and maybe hear. When I be remember, say become Chris Anu, then bring it for TV, for their ABC TV. He come talk, say, if I become attack Boy Warrior, ADF, they be try for fight, now why that way they be key General Fund and the rest. All those lies and when the year fight that they come out say they want go attack ADF, say they must finish ADF them for day. May we interview Mr. Luista, the chairman for that group, make it talk the truth and confess for Ambazonia, make una know once and for all the truth. And I hope say this truth go set all the fighters and way them be in prison for this hatred unnecessarily against their own brother. It will set them free. May we listen for my conversation with Mr. Luista. Hello, Mr. Luista.
Hi there, Capo Daniel. Thanks very much, Daniel. I don't follow plenty of your posts and communications, and truth comes out all the time. And maybe just to, well, first, thanks for calling me.
The reason why is because you went on SCBC and you said that Guinean died in a crossfire. He wanted to fight, and he said Atalat. Do you really believe the things you said on that SCBC that Guinean was killed because he said that Atalat and he was ready to fight?
Daniel, how I wish you asked me this question before broadcasting. This meeting was called, and all the EXCO was present, including people like Mark Barretta.
Just for the record, Mr. Mark Barretta was in that meeting while Elvis was cooking up the story. Mark Barretta was there. And I've sent the audio of Elvis talking to Efang, so he knew everything. But he didn't come out to make things clear. Anyway, let's continue.
The EXCO was present, including people like Mark Barretta. We were all there. We sat down and listened to the security briefing from the security team. And we were told this is what was happening. The security chief should have gone up on air to say what was happening. Because we did, right? Yes, we deemed it necessary for people to know what was happening. Because for me, it was unheard of that people had gone to Boy to kill others.
And I was so shocked, man. You wouldn't believe that the day before I was speaking with Nginya. I said, okay, as the chairperson, I will go and give this information so that people be clear of what was happening, because they needed to know, and information was going to go round left and right. Little did I know that this had been going on since morning, that people knew what was going on. Remember, I knew about this about 12:30 noon, and we were briefed of what was going on. I went on air and I said what I was told. So the question you've asked is a question which I now have answers. I do now have answers because after the event, I had to go find out myself exactly what happened. Got video of Nginya being tied up. And I have never, there are a few pictures and things that really stick. That was one of the things for me that was really, really shocking. That later on, I actually saw Nginya killed. The question you asked, the answer is clear. You and I know that he was not killed as I reported, that he was killed in action, because definitely we saw him tied, and we later on saw a picture of him killed. But at the time when I made my announcement, that is the information I had. That is the information we were given.
And you were given that information by Elvis?
Of course, this was a briefing which we had in the security team.
Did you also find out that Elvis actually knew that Big Number and the other forces were coming to Boh for another mission? They were not coming to kill anybody, and he had actually spoken to Big Number. You know that later on that was the truth. That is what actually happened.
I can tell you, in all honesty, Daniel, that somebody sent me a short audio a few days ago. I think it's Big Number talking, which indicates that he had spoken to Elvis that morning. I have also spoken to a few people who indicate that they knew what was going on. I am seeing in a forum where we're trying to get some peace in Boh, that members of the ADF knew what was going on right from the morning. You know, the whole of Boh is in tears. It is not just me, it's not just members of the security team, it's not just the family members who are suffering. Everybody is suffering. You know? And I know I could have gone out there to also make other broadcasts and say this is what exactly happened, but well,
yes.
2 days later, actually the day later, when I was now making my investigation, as I demanded for everything that had happened and anything that anybody had, I had those videos sent to me. I was shocked that somebody had them out there in the media.
I'm telling you the truth. You have a responsibility, because you came out there, you were the person who came out and said that Nginya was killed because he asked the soldiers to be on alert to fight, and he was killed in that crossfire. You blame him, and you also blame the Big Number. They were coming there to invade. Their guns had GPS. And all those things, the soldiers on the ground, we have had multiple instances where, in particularly Bush Dog, or how they call him, they are coming to kill their brothers because they believe what you said. And they say those audios for the things you put out there in public. Once you found out that these things were lies being told to you by Elvis, you have a responsibility to think about how you can reverse it. And Elvis is carrying on activities that you people do not know. He's stopping you guys from talking to the soldiers, and even when you guys talk to the soldiers, it does not really matter because he is the one that is behind all the mischief that is going on in Boh, and it has to stop. We cannot allow our boys to be killing each other, believing that Ebube, you know Ebube very well, you know Kapora very well, you know Guineam, all of them. They are not there to kill any sort of person. Can
I shock you?
Go ahead, bro.
I'm not stopping you there. These are boys who are ready to fight. These are boys who are ready to defend us. Yes.
Let me ask you a question, my brother, because I have to go to work. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. Let me ask you a question. All these Ansot boys, the ADF generals which we have there, well, they are very loyal. You have Capo, Hassan, and all the rest. They are very loyal guys who have been fighting for a long time. I know you guys, I don't know whether you know yet, but the reason why Elvis is behaving the way he's behaved, he's a chief of staff of Sako. And Chris Ano, when they come out and they ask that these guys should go and fight and kill ADF and wipe out those boys that you are calling, that you know, Ebube, Kapuran, or Hassan, and all those people to go and kill them. The person that goes out and instigate those boys to go and kill them is Elvis. And he does that on the base, he uses you people, your public statement, to motivate those boys to go and kill their brothers. Do you really think that is really right for you to just sit and watch him do that? I don't even know whether you know that he works for Sako or whether he's a joint cabinet member of Sako. I don't even know if you guys are aware. But I know that the soldiers on the ground are not aware that the Boh warriors have anything to do with Sako, because I've spoken to them.
And I think they should not, because I spent my life, Capo Daniel, making sure that these boys did not work in factions. And I will say it day and night, that the whole idea of names in Boh is what has continued to destroy Boh. Talk about IG. I think even when they talk about IG at home, they mean the IG in Koninge. And there are some who talk about IG and they mean Sako. And for your records as well, Boh worldwide community, we do not belong to an IG. There are members of the forum.
Because of limitation of time, I will have to cut it short. But you can go to Capo Daniel's YouTube channel and you can trace the confession of Luista. So you can know from the interview that even the people that join all this group that they call county group or LGA, they did not tell them that it was Sako or a group of the IG. They use a disguise of a neutral group, a political group, to lure in unsuspecting people who have been disillusioned or discouraged due to the works of agents provocateurs and La Republic agents that injected insult and all type of blackmail within the struggle. And they created this space where they would lure them in, and they will be unsuspecting members of the IG of Sako, but they don't know. Even some of them think that the IG is for Siseko. Why would they be hiding that Sako was the one behind this institution? Is because it is very obvious to everybody that Sako have been compromised and he's acting in ways that are counterproductive to our goal of independence. That is the reason. So ladies and gentlemen, fellow Ambazonians, we will continue in the next episode. Stay tuned. As for the death that we have seen this week in around Nopiti, I think I will not want to cross the bounds of the ADF official position, but I have put my reservation about these issues out there already for everybody to listen. Before any soldier, my advice would be, before any soldier move from one group to another, or they are being lured into any group, they should think twice. You should remember that the Cameroon military have not successfully breached any major camp for the past 1 year. Apart from the camps that were breached because of the county-by-county launch that we saw the death of over 800 Ambazonian youth, they have not succeeded. But somehow, by people moving and attracted to Nopiti because of what they see on social media, they have been exposed to this annihilation. And just people have to just make decisions on themselves. People, no man no go choose something put up for any man in mob, and no man no go force me for talk something one no one talk am. The ADF official position is we will always support every soldier on the ground. And the fact that we are seeing Cameroon military vehicles being burned is a big plus for our struggle. It's a disgrace to Cameroon that they have come to that. The fact that even we have people like Nambere and Success Nkongo today being received by Cameroon ministers, the same people who were saying in the beginning of this struggle they will kill everybody that oppose them or that stands for independence. It shows that Cameroon is weakened and they have lost it. They have come to this level. Concerning General Trouble, who was killed, if I make the mistake of the name, forgive me, in Ndop, it's unfortunate that he was an IG general, but they are our soldiers, they are our sons and daughters. Anybody who pick up gun, and we must honor their job. But we also learn when things like that happen. We know now that he was killed because a black leg identified him, because a week ago he collected 3.7 million from a family for no reason, absolutely no reason. We should never target any innocent Ambazonian just doing their business and living their life. We should never target them for things like that. He was an IG general, but the forces in DOP are one. They are united. No matter which general bring his operation, they will carry out. So we continue to ask them to continue to keep that spirit, but maintain our code of conduct and protect the people that they are liberating. It's very important. La Republique are shutting down a lot of their posts. You see their number reducing on our street corners, and in they have reduced basically their patrol in many areas around our areas of control because they are weakened. They are unable to supply their troops, so they are changing. They are losing the war. La Republique is losing the war. Nobody should make mistake. We should focus and be very, very effective in what we do. Be very cautious, because the last kick of a dying horse is very deadly. And for our people, know that people like Boh Herbert, what we can learn is that because somebody is very intelligent and can speak very well, if that person is not a patriot, but is always driven by greed, by hatred, by inability to allow somebody else to lead, then that person is become very dangerous to our society. We have seen very intelligent Africans like Robert Mugabe who became dictators, and the one of the handicap of good people but bad with greed. Even Muhammad Gaddafi, who was one of the best leaders we have in Africa but did not have the ability to give power to somebody else, it always leads to bad things, disaster to the people. Boh Herbert is an intelligent man, but he lacks dignity, he lacks honor, and he will do anything for greed. He's somebody who once said that even if the whole Ambazonia refused that they will not have election, he will go ahead to organize the election. And that is how the IG came about. This is somebody who said that he does not support war. He will never support violence. But when he heard that there was negotiation going on and he wants to join, he wants to follow Sako, he came and said that he himself will put money in the draft to support war. So this is not somebody who do things based on intellectual calculation. He does things because of greed. So we should learn from today that because somebody is intelligent, have PhD, is renowned, does not mean we should blindly listen to them or follow their lead. We should follow patriotism, people who love the country, who love our people more than they love themselves. We should love people who always go for collective approach and who are always open to embrace order if that is the type of country we want in the future. Fellow Ambazonians, have a good day. Continue to support the resistance. God bless you all. Capo Daniel, signing off.